Hello, welcome to the Blue Dragon Guild hobby vlog number 14. We played D&D yesterday and it was a whole lot of fun. Tommy was able to come back, so Krylon, after being resurrected after Tommy was away, Krylon made his way back into the story. And I really I love the way that things happened. When we ended our last game, the party was heading back to a city that they had visited previously and competed in a battle tournament in this. It's in a tavern that I created. They have like a magical arena where people fight and have battles and stuff. It was just a fun idea that I had, and they had previously gone there and done some battles and won some money and all other sorts of fun kind of things. The way I work things out in the story is, since Tommy wasn't able to be here, Krylon had went off, doing some soul searching after, being resurrected. And the party had done a few things and decided they needed to go to the closest city to do some research on this Orcus cult that they had been interacting with, fighting, and all this other stuff. They get there and they're like, well, we're going to go to the place that we know. It's this tavern, this inn, the Titan's Grip, and we'll stay there. Like, we might battle, we might do some other things, because there's a lot of stuff that they were wanting to do. They get there and the person at the counter says, oh, your friend's been here for about a week now. And they're like, what, really? So Omega and Sasava come up with this plan to mess with their friend Krylon. They tell the organizer person, like, hey, go tell him that someone's here wanting to fight him and he better be here. There's 500 gold on the line. And there's some rolls, some persuasion checks, and the guy is like, oh yeah, let's do it, it'll be fun. They get these disguises. Basically, it's Omega, the Owlin wizard, who is very small, very compact. They go out, they take some clothes that they find hanging on the lines outside in this city. One guy catches them, and for reference, this city is like one of the biggest trading hubs, so people are always looking to make a gold. And Omega gets caught and he says, oh, I'll pay you for it. And the guy goes, oh yeah, you need anything else? And Omega's like, sure, why not? So they go into this guy's home, not a shop. He asks if they have a giant cooking kettle because he wants to use it as a helmet. And then Omega's like, here's 400 gold, completely changing these people's lives. So now I've written them down as something that they'll stumble upon or encounter later down the road. So they get back to the tavern. The fight starts, and Krylon rolls a natural 1 on his perception, and so he doesn't really see, he doesn't really get that this is his friend. The battle starts, and Omega whips out his spell book to cast a spell, and then it's like, oh, well, Krylon, you look and you start to think, I know that spell book. Wait a sec. I know who this is. And so they battled back and forth, and Omega, being an Owlin, being able to fly, was able to beat Krylon. And it was a really fun, everybody loved it. It was easy for me as the dungeon master because I don't really have to do very much. Gave me some time to process some other things that were in my head. After that, they reunited with Krylon, and then we started into our downtime activities of trying to figure out all these things that they wanted to do. There was research done on the cult, and Omega found a lot of interesting things out. There's still more that he can learn. So if you watch this, Omega can learn more stuff. And Sasava has always got these plans of making things, doing things, and he's a poisoner is his character background. He wants to make poisons. Well, he needs materials to make poisons. So he decided he was going to sell health potions to get gold. And all the while they're doing this, they're talking back and forth, and they're like, we need a base of operations, because why would we, we're not gonna be able to stay in this tavern and do all this stuff. So they went and they talked to the regent lord of the city, and basically they brokered a deal if you go take care of these goblins that are attacking our trade caravans, we can cut you a good deal on this abandoned wizard's tower that you're interested in. And that's basically where our story is going to pick up next time. And I'm very excited to see what they do with this wizard's tower, because it's kind of dilapidated, not really been taken care of. So like they're gonna have to invest some gold into fixing it up. But once they do, they're gonna have a really cool base of operations. So I'm really excited about that. So yesterday I started a 3D print. It was a 22-hour 3D print. It is one of the new monsters in the 5.5 brand new monster manual that they just released. I think 5.5 is the general consensus for that one. But it is a really awesome monster. It's called the Blob of Annihilation. It's this gargantuan ooze, and it finished printing, and I'm really excited about it. So took up my entire print plate. I mean, a couple things didn't, looks like they kind of were a little weird, but that's okay, because I have this monstrous ooze that I can now throw down on the table. If you haven't looked at anything about this ooze, I highly recommend it, because they are really, really awesome. So I'm out here, I got a new TV for the game room area. Got a little bit of wrestling on. It always seems like this room just becomes a catch-all for things, or I just come out and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna set some stuff down and go back to the house. I really need to spend some quality time out here organizing and just getting things to a state where I'm not every single time there's D&D coming out saying, oh, gotta clean up, got D&D tomorrow. That's one downside to having like a hobby space, is oftentimes it does become a catch-all. I know I have several friends and family members whose hobby space is a catch-all, and things get piled up, and it happens. So like one of my big goals for this spring is to get this space done, and storage, everything, everywhere has a spot. A lot of that is going to be really important for when I start cataloging all my miniatures more in depth than I've kind of already started that, but I really just need to just go through and just get everything cataloged, get everything in its own little organized spot. It's going to be really helpful for this space. Another thing that I was working on, this Blob of Annihilation is really, really awesome. I'm looking forward to painting it and the Tarrasque. Don't think I've forgotten about that, marbles. Continuing on my journey of having at least one miniature for every monster in the monster manual. I've taken, another step with this into having that. Granted, I'm not necessarily focusing on the 5.5 monster manual. I'm more so focusing on the original 5e monster manual. I am very excited for that project, and going back to having my space organized. Once I have everything organized, that process will be a whole lot smoother. So I have started working on things for our next D&D session. I'm excited for what we have going, especially with where the game ended last time, with them, kind of taking on this contract work for the local government in the city of Worcester. And I'm not going to divulge too many details. They are going to go after a group of goblins who have been attacking the trade caravans. Got some fun plans for that. It's so hard to talk about this because I really just want to spill everything here on camera, but I know several of the guys watch these videos, so I don't want to spoil anything for them. So I will update that process later on. But most likely I will get another sit-down session out here of going through my books, looking at different things. A lot of the encounter I've already done, but I'm just mapping it out with terrain and minis and everything is where I'm at now. There is one miniature I'm definitely going to have to paint up for this. I've done a few things since I last recorded an update, which was, I don't know, like 4 days ago. I put up a shelf and put some dragons up there. I'm considering taking them out of the box so I can put more things up there because, you know, I need space. I also started a project that, I picked up a project that I started like 4 or 5 years ago now. It was the conversion of this toy dragon into a dragon for the tabletop. I got him all based up, and I've been waiting for the primer to cure so I can get him painted, and he's gonna be a lot of fun. He's gonna be a, yeah, that kind of dragon. I'm filming that process to go up on the Dungeon Builder Hobbies channel. I've also been working on something for an upcoming potential encounter. I say potential because, you know, with the way things go in D&D, oftentimes, you know, we may not end up getting there. But I'll at least have this bit of terrain created. I began building a ruined ruined building. You can see there I've already started on some black paint and Mod Podge to seal it up, and then I've started adding in the rest of the walls on there. Right now I added some super glue to the bottom to kind of hold it together just a tiny little bit better. So I'm not messing with it anymore today. Also, in good news, it has started to warm up considerably, so the AC's back in the window, so you might hear that blowing in the background. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. I've got some organizing to do over here with my minis because my son decided he wanted to play with them, and they all ended up in a big jumble. But that's fine. He's having fun, so that's all that matters. We are just about 1 month away from Final Boss Con. It's at the end of April, April 24th, 25th, I think is what that weekend is. 25th, 26th. Somebody will correct me, probably me in editing. And I've got a fun adventure planned for our 5e tabletop that we're gonna run. My concept, my idea for it is, what if Hotel California was ran by a hag? So I'm gonna have it to run there at the con, and if I can get things figured out and planned out well enough, might even run it here for the channel. So I think this is where I'm gonna wrap this one up. Thanks everybody for watching the hobby vlogs. This has been hobby vlog number 14. If you want to, hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, throw a comment down below. And until next time, keep the dice rolling.